Welcome, Taurus. This is your weekly Teroscope reading for February the 15th through to the 21st, 2016. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we get to the energy of the cards, let me take a moment to thank you for all the love, all the support that you give me each and every day. Truly, thank you so, so much. Now, let's get to the energy of you. Okay, we start with the Six of Pentacles. So very much the give and take in relationships this week is one of the priorities here in your life. But I think more than that, it's what you've done in the past now comes into play. Okay, so something that you may not have been appreciated for or wasn't valued as much as you thought it would be comes now around to bring in that value, to bring in that worth. So you may have gone for a job interview, and now the phone rings out of the blue months and months later offering you the position. Or you could have done some charity work and somebody really admired the way you could organize or the way you could sell something or the way you interacted with people. And have something coming up and they would like you to be involved. This is people recognizing your worth, your value, and it's also how much you give. So this is a beautiful week to clean out your closets and donate to charity, an act of goodwill. The next card is the Seven of Pentacles, so it's really asking you to look deep and hard at what you are cultivating going forward. Does your actions of today represent the ideal of what you want to be tomorrow, what you want to walk into tomorrow? Are you nurturing your dreams? Are you growing your dreams? Are you giving it the attention it deserves? If it's a relationship that you are more concerned about this week, then are you putting in the energy it deserves? What are you doing to make that relationship work? So it's really looking at ourselves and our actions and what we want to walk into tomorrow. And does our actions, does our words reflect what we want to walk into tomorrow? We have the Hangman. So meditation, prayer. Okay, ask yourselves these things through meditation. Ask for those clues, those epiphanies to come to you of what to do, of how to go forward, of what opportunity to walk into, what will bring in balance, what brings in happiness. And it's all crossed over by the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is the quiet one in the deck. She thinks things through. She doesn't make snap decisions. She doesn't rush into judgments. She asks questions to validate. She understands completely. She gathers as much information as possible. Then she makes her decisions to go forward. And when she shows up in a reading and you follow those rules, you'll never have to look back on the decision you made. She is also one of creativity and strength, but mainly she is the diplomat. She doesn't act without thinking things through. She doesn't speak without thinking things through. And so whether you're trying to sell an idea or you're trying to sell you, so in a job promotion, in networking within the community, raising your stature within the community, working out relationship issues, you want to think things through. You want to understand it maybe through their set of eyes before you go and speak to it, before you go and act towards it. We have the Five of Swords, and it's very much, along the same guidelines that people are not going to be as receptive as you would like them to be this week unless you are well versed in what you are saying, that you're not trying to snow them in any way or make things bigger than life in any way, but you are giving them the details and the facts, and they know that you know what you are talking about. Does that make sense? So people might resist. People might put up walls if you're not properly prepared. So if you are going in to a business meeting or for a job, uh, just about anything. You know, a bank loan, a first date, a quiet night without the kids. You want to give those moments meaning, and you want to be prepared for what you want to get across to them, for their buy-in, for their acceptance. Because you do know what you're talking about, but you have to come across as that. Absolutely. Your energy this week is all about the Two of Swords, making decisions from the heart. And it might take courage in order to make those decisions. So remember, be the diplomat. Get all the information at hand. But you know what? You're going to know the answer before you'll feel it in your gut. Your intuition is going to lead you this week to the right path, to the right choices, to the right minutes. As we go towards the weekend and into next week, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So new paths opening up to you for abundance, for happiness, for joy, for well-being. And I think down the road is when you start working on your creativity. You want to stay very grounded. You want to stay very traditional right now. You don't want to push the ballot in any way. You don't want to push through the energy. You want to go with the flow. You want to do a job well. You want to showcase your talents and your gifts, but not in an extravagant way. Just doing what you normally do, being who you are, will allow you the opportunities to give you some creative input down the road. And it's not really a time for learning, it's a time for doing, because we have the Ten of Swords. So this tells me that you have learned all of your lessons, that you have gained great wisdom. Everybody's so scared of this card when it comes up. It's really a beautiful card because it says you are over any kind of real major struggle, that you have learned. You have taken in wisdom from your lessons. You have a better understanding, a surety of yourself, a self-confidence. You're pushing yourself back up here. The sun is trying to break through the clouds. Those swords are not in your back. They're behind you, and they are your shield to take you forward. For our love card, we have the Devil. Okay, this is the phoenix rising out of the ashes. So I don't know if it's a great week to start relationships or even end relationships this week, but you are really getting a sense of awareness of what you deserve within a relationship, what you expect within a relationship, the give and take that needs to be in the relationship, and you are starting to really stand strong in your own moral code. And it needs to be a part of the relationship. So there could be conversations this week if you are in a relationship. I think if you are looking for a relationship this week, you're going to be a lot more picky about who you decide to go out with. And I think they have to bring something to the table, or their values have to match you in some way. So lighten up, go with the flow, allow them a chance to show themselves to you. Okay, don't be too don't carry that checklist with you this week. Go with the flow, enjoy the moment, and allow it maybe to develop into something or not. Because I think you're very strong in your own self-confidence, your own vision of tomorrow, your own values. And that might put out the energy to actually push somebody away who would normally come closer to you. If you are in a relationship, it might take some conversation. So plan a date night, a quiet night for just the two of you, so that you can talk about where you are now and where you are going to, your future direction. Maybe it's the next step. For career, we have the Hermit. Okay, so the hermit, what do we think of when we think hermit? I think of a man going out into, or ourselves going out into the desert to contemplate, to search our soul, to tap into our intuition, to tap into God, our angels, our spirit guides, to understand the right way forward, to weigh things out, to pull ourselves out of the picture, out of the mix a little bit, to understand what we truly want to go forward into in our lives. So this isn't a boisterous week for you. It's showing people just who you are and what you bring to the table. And I think you give things a lot of thought this week before you go forward in them. Whether it's a conversation, whether it's a situation, the more you give it thought, the more you give it, ponder on things, to know the right course of action, to know the next step, to know the next conversation that needs to happen, the more successful you will be this week. For spirituality, we have the Nine of Cups, so grow those dreams big this week. Okay, in minute detail. Okay, so, what do they look like if you are looking to meet somebody? Or if you were to get an influx of money and you want to fix up your house, what would it look like? Is it carpet or hardwood floors? What do the doorknobs look like? What kind of light fixtures do you have? Minute detail, absolutely. Okay, the more that you can put into it, you'll be amazed at what ends up being the sustainable, long-term, tangible result if you do this kind of practice on a regular basis. But you got to put the work behind it. That's part of it. For health, we have the Seven of Wands. Okay, this is very much, if you feel that there is something that ails you, or if you are getting a diagnosis or have a diagnosis of some sort, and you don't feel it's right in some way, you really need to be strong and go after somebody until they will do something for you or listen to you. Okay, this is you really making a stand in your own health. Okay, so if one doctor is telling you one thing and it doesn't sit right with you, it doesn't feel right with you, then go for the second opinion this week. Or if there's a treatment plan that's available and the doctor just pushes it aside, then maybe it's time to shop for a new clinic or a new doctor. Or at least get a second opinion. And maybe if they both say the same thing, then maybe that treatment plan wasn't for you, but at least now you know. Okay, and this is very much if you are feeling good and you want to keep feeling good, this is making choices based on whether or not it is good for you. It brings value into your life. So if people are, oh, come on and go out, and you are really tired, then say, no, I'm tired. And that's the end of it. You have to stand up for you this week and make sure that you are taking care of yourself in a healthy way. Okay, if everybody wants to go through the drive-through, insist on a sit-down dinner or going to the grocery store and just hitting the fruit and vegetable aisle. So it's making strong health choices for yourself. And if you make some kind of new pact with yourself that you're going to work out more, you're going to eat differently, or you're going to include a 5-minute walk every day into your life, that this is a good time that it could be long-term and sustainable going forward for you. It'll empower you, it will give you strength, and you'll be able to stick to your goals when it comes to health choices. So until we meet again, remember, I do love you.